Hi everyone, welcome to Zakarama crafting class. In today's session, I'll show you how to create these adorable Christmas decorations. See the ones on the plate here? These are what we'll make together if you follow my steps. So let's dive in. First, you will need a piece of paper cloth like the one I'm using. Draw the same patterns I've made. Once that's done, you can start felting directly on it. Let's take the Christmas tree as an example. Notice how the tree's color is a mix of two different greens? We are going to blend the two shades together to create a nice forest green. To do this, gently pull and stretch the wool fibers so they blend evenly. This technique is called color blending. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just pull lightly and you'll get the hang of it. If you want a lighter green, add more of the lighter shade. For a darker green, add more of the deeper shade. Once you've blended your colors, take a small piece of the wool and place it on the surface of your pattern. Now, here's a tip. I recommend using a foam pad as your work surface. It makes felting so much easier. And when you are not using the needle, you can stick it into the side of the pad for safekeeping. Start felting by gently poking the wool with your needle. Try to keep your needle perpendicular to the surface, like this. It helps the fiber bind better. Be careful to keep your hands away from the needle to avoid pricking yourself. Occasionally, lift the piece to make sure it's not sticking too much to the pad. Then place it back down and continue. For the first layer, go thin. Just cover the surface lightly. Once you've got the base layer done, you can add more wool to build thickness. The second layer will be easier to felt because there's less resistance. Keep adding layers until you're happy with the thickness and shape. Alright, once you finish the base shapes, here's a quick rundown of what we're making. For the Christmas tree, we'll fill its outline and trunk. The gingerbread man needs a body and 2 little arms. The Christmas wreath is just a circle. The sign will be a rectangle, and the snowman will have a hat, head, and face. To smooth out the surface and make it look polished, take small, thin pieces of wool and felt them onto any rough areas or visible needle marks. It's like touching a paint. This step makes everything look more finished. Next, let's add some details. Let's go back to the Christmas tree. Start by cutting out the shape you felted. Trim the edges carefully to clean it up. For the star on top, use a piece of fabric. Cut out a star shape. Apply a little glue and stick it on. For decorations, you can add tiny red and white dots by blending the colors into pink. Rolling a small piece into a ball and felting it in place. Space the dots out evenly for a nice look. Finally, wrap a gold thread around the tree for that festive touch. Tie a knot at the back. And you're done with the tree. Now for the gingerbread man. We'll add 2 eyes using small balls of dark brown wool. Position them close together for a cute look. Then make a smile by rolling some brown wool into a thin line and felting it into a curve. Add a tiny pink blush to the cheeks and a red bow tie for extra charm. For the snowman, start with a green scarf. Use the mixed green wool we prepared earlier. Roll it into a line and fold it in place around the neck. Add eyes and a smile like we did for the gingerbread man. And give it a red nose by filling a small bowl. If the features sink too much, use a needle to lift them slightly. And then felt lightly to secure them. Finally, tie a gold thread around the snowman to finish it off. And for the wreath, it's a bit tricky. Cut out the center to make it a ring. Then wrap gold thread around it, tying it off at the end. Add a little bow using a ribbon. And secure it with glue. For extra decoration, you can fill some tiny colorful balls or shapes to add to the wreath. For the sign, I've simplified to say Xmas because Merry Christmas felt like too much. Felt each letter with light green wool, rolling it into lines to form the letters. You can add small leaf and berry details to make it more festive. Lastly, for a polished look, use seed beads to decorate your pieces. Dab a little glue on the bead, place it carefully with a needle or tweezers. And press it firmly into place. Repeat wherever you want a little sparkle. Once you've finished all these decorations, there's so much you can do with them. You can turn them into little brooches, hair clips, hanging ornaments, or even fridge magnets. Whatever you like. For example, if you want to make a brooch, it's super easy. Just apply glue generously to the back of your piece and stick it onto a brooch pin. Then place it somewhere to dry for about 30 minutes to an hour. Once the glue is fully set, your brooch is ready to use. If you'd like to make a hair clip, follow the same process. Apply glue to the back of your decoration, attach it to a hair clip base, and let it dry naturally. For a fridge magnet, simply glue a small magnet to the back of your decoration and let it set. It's a great way to add a festive touch to your fridge or magnetic surfaces. Now, if you want to turn your piece into a hanging ornament, it's just a tiny bit more work. Let's take the Christmas tree as an example. First, decide where you want the hanging loop to go. Somewhere near the top of the tree, but not directly on the star. Use a small tool to poke a hole in that spot. Then, take an open jump ring and thread it through the hole. Close the jump ring tightly, ensuring the open part faces inward. Now you can attach a string or cord to the ring. Your Christmas tree becomes a cute hanging ornament. And there you have it, adorable handmade decorations that you can use in so many ways. If you feel like it's a lot to do in one go, take your time and spread it out over a couple of days. If you enjoyed this tutorial or found it helpful, please give it a big thumb up and subscribe to our channel. We'll be sharing more fun and creative crafting projects in the future. Thanks for watching and happy crafting!